have to remind myself, and I want to be here to remind you that when you feel like you can't do it, and you're thinking maybe you don't have what it takes, and you're thinking maybe you're in over your head, and maybe you overcommitted yourself. One, if we're not stretching beyond what's comfortable, we are not growing. Like when we're tired of who we've been and we're tired of where we've been, and we want to see radical change in ourselves and in our lives, like radical change demands discomfort. So I woke up today kind of like a little bit bitter. Like I was just like, I had a chip on my shoulder. I was just feeling like bitter and bitchy because, you know, my parents, who are my best friends and my main support system, are living across the country right now because like they're retired, like, but how dare they? And I'm currently in between boyfriends and boy toys at the moment, which is totally fine. It's whatever. I don't even have time anyways. But like days like today, I'm like, and I am taking a lot of credits this semester, the most credits I've taken probably ever, and I'm feeling really tired and burnt out, but it's fine. And I may or may not have taken a full melatonin gummy last night, which I never do, but I did, and I woke up with like a total melatonin hangover, which was insane. And I didn't even know what day it was. Like I woke up and the sun was like blaring through my window, and I was like, what day is it? Like I was like, what happened? I like tossed and turned for a hot minute, and eventually I'm like, I pull my silk sheets over my head and I'm like, not today. Not today. I don't want to do life today. I don't want to show up. I don't want to be the baddie that I signed up to be at the beginning of the semester when I agreed to do 15 credits. I don't want to do it. Not today. Not this Saturday. Not with this melatonin hangover. Not with my parents across the freaking country. Not when I'm waking up without daddy next to me. So, I had to remind myself that it's days like this, and it's moments like this when I'm in my bitter biatch feels. I have to remind myself, homegirl, queen, we have been through worse. We have had worse days. Like I would take bitter feels over saddie feels any day. Yes, I will wake up a bitter bee today, but as long as I'm not saddie, I'm fine. We're chilling, okay? I did my assignments. I did my homework. I submitted all of my projects and assignments on time, and I slayed, might I add, okay? I even went for a good trail run. LOL, it wasn't a good trail run. It was terrible, actually. I couldn't even make it a mile. I had to come home. I was dying. It was actually a great day. I was just, you know? So I wanted to take a second, not to just get that off my chest, but also to remind the girls, but not just the girls, anyone who is enduring, overcoming, or escaping abuse, that like after living through abuse, it's kind of hard to survive anything like worse than that. I mean, I know there's got to be things way worse than that, but the point is like, yes, I am a single mom of 4. I am doing it all on my own. I'm really freaking tired. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I miss my parents. I just want to be on a bike. I want to be on a bike with my parents on some awesome trail in nature. But that's not going to happen. I want daddy. Just today, I don't actually want a boyfriend, okay? But days like today when I'm feeling like bitter, yes, okay, yes. I want a little boy toy today. And it's true. I am alone. I am today. I'm lonely today. I am feeling a bit bitter about my life circumstances. I'm feeling a little bit bitter about how much hard work I got to do and how I have minimal support while doing it. I'm a little bit bitter that I woke up this morning with a melatonin hangover and couldn't just, roll over and keep sleeping. I had to get up and do my assignments, and I had to get started with my day regardless of how I was feeling and just like get shit done. And days like today, I just didn't wanna. I wanted to lay in bed and be bitter and just binge watch random series. I'm watching Breaking Bad right now for the first time ever. Side note. Okay, I have to remind myself, and I want to be here to remind you that when you feel like you can't do it and you're thinking maybe you don't have what it takes, and you're thinking maybe you're in over your head, and maybe you overcommitted yourself. I don't know. There's a couple of thoughts that I have with that alone, just that right there, is one, if we're not stretching beyond what's comfortable, we are not growing. Like, what is the point of sitting in a comfort zone? There's just like nothing happens there. Nothing good happens there. Depression happens there. Anxiety happens there. Getting too much in your head and, oh, woe is me happens there. Like, comfort zone is just an icky place. It really isn't. It's not even cozy. It's like, ugh. Well, if we're not being pushed beyond our current limits, then we're not going to create new limits that are going to encourage us to achieve like a higher version of ourselves, a better version of ourselves. And so like leaning into it, leaning into the discomfort and the stretch and the growth. And sure, like it's okay to have days like today where like we're just a little bit bitter about it. Just a little bit. But ultimately, like, it's a good thing. I have learned that if I'm not asking myself, like, can I really do this? And doubting, like, I don't know if I can do this. If those things are not coming to my mind, then I know that I'm probably in a situation where I'm making myself too comfortable and I'm making myself too cozy. And growth and development just does not exist in those comfy, cozy, icky places. So like when we're tired of who we've been and we're tired of where we've been and we want to see radical change in ourselves and in our lives, like radical change demands discomfort. And I want radical change. I want radical change for myself, for my life, for my kids, for my legacy, the legacy that I plan to leave behind. Okay, we're leaning into it and we're just going to take these bitter days as they come and also the sad girl days. And what a blessing it is that now, post-abuse, I only have occasional sad girl days. How about that? How about that? A few years ago, I couldn't even comprehend this reality. I couldn't even comprehend this reality. I couldn't even imagine it possible for me to be in this position and in this situation. And now here I am. And what a celebration that is, because I was trapped in such a dark space before, feeling like I would never get out of there, that I would never escape, that I would never be free again. And yet here we are, and here I am. Fine, I'll have a bad day because it's not a bad life. Before I was experiencing a bad life, it was a bad day every single day. It was sad girl feels all day, every single day. It was bitter feels all day, every single day. Like my whole life, my whole existence was just sad and bitter and awful and dark and a living hell, an absolute living hell. So I am grateful that I have days like today to remind me, like, oh yeah, I don't actually exist in this space anymore. I just have days. I just have moments. I just have low moments, low days, bad moments, to remind me that my life is actually really damn good. I'm actually grateful to have this moment of being bitter and just feeling sorry for myself, to realize, like, wow, when was the last time I actually felt this before? Like, when was the last time I felt sorry for myself or just bad and just like had a bad day and feeling bitter and, you know, feeling like doubting myself, like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, hell yeah, Elise. Look at you. Look how far you've come. You don't even have that many bad days anymore. You don't even have that many sad girl days anymore. It's so uncommon that you actually realize it's a bad day when it happens. Before, it was like another day because that was my life. And now it's like, oh, I'm having a bad day. Yeah, good. That means that most of my days are good. Realizing that a bad day reminds you that that you actually have it so good. So good, in fact, that you recognize a bad day when it happens. What a concept. Anyway, the message of today is that when you are escaping hell and you have a day that kind of reminds you that maybe your life isn't so perfect and you're just kind of feeling a little bit saddy and you're feeling a little bit angry or bitter, it's a wonderful revelation to you that you actually have escaped hell and that you are actually living paradise. Paradise in comparison. Honestly, this is paradise in comparison. And realizing that those bad days are a friendly reminder to you that you actually are living a really great life. You are really happy if you're having a bad day. If you're feeling small, how big you must feel all the rest of the time to be able to recognize that. Look how far we have come. Let's celebrate. To those of you who understand, to those of you who agree, to those of you who get it, to those of you who are overcoming hell and might be feeling a little bit bitter and a little bit sad today, because most of the time your life is awesome. Cheers. Cheers to that. Cheers to me and you. I'll drink to that. And let us be grateful for the bad days that remind us that our life is actually pretty freaking awesome. Amen. And that is all. Okay, love you. Bye.